So I think that looking at the market, I got some good news for everybody. The market right now is starting out a new month. And if you go back to where we opened at 6 o'clock, 68.78, write that number down. 68, 68.78. And the market right now is trading right at 68.97, 98 area. We're about to I think we break out of that 6,900 area, then we're in territory that gets pretty interesting. The market Friday afternoon reversed on RB4. If you were there with me, we put on a couple trades and they're looking pretty good coming into tonight. And administratively, be sure if you're in my Futures First program, I do have a trade I'm going to give you tonight. After 9 in the Futures First room. So we got that going on. And I just think that it's going to be a great week. I hope everybody here is part of it. And I think we got some exciting things to talk about tonight. I talked about tonight, there's one stock that I'm going to talk about that I think I've been doing a lot of thinking about. And I think that stock, you got to think about if you're going to participate, how you're going to do it. And we'll cover that in tonight's presentation. Hope everybody here is doing great. I hope you got the right frame of mind. Now, let me ask this question. How many of you, if you could stop tonight and say where you want to be at end of Friday's close, how much money would make you just smile, smile, smile if we made that much money? Because you're going to have an opportunity. I think you're going to have an opportunity, but you're going to have to, obviously depending on how much you wish for and hope for and dream for, you got to risk money to do that. Okay. And that's just the way it works. Okay. So I'm seeing some amounts in here, pretty good amounts. Aaron's, you're pretty aggressive there. Dave, okay, that's good. Well, I think you got to consider the NVIDIA trade I'm going to do, because the NVIDIA trade I think is good for the next 60 days. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Fred's going to be down here in Ponte Vedra Beach Tuesday and Wednesday. Fred, that's a realistic goal for what we do, so we'll shoot for that. All right, Jennifer, let's get it. Adam, thanks for putting all this together. Hey, Miles. Yeah, NVIDIA's earnings are November the 19th. Write that date down, November the 19th. If you want to get some extra training, go to our YouTube channel. We got some good stuff there. And, of course, tune in to DTItrader.com/TBuzzTV if you want to hear what I'm saying in the morning. Okay? That's just the way it goes. Now, Adam, am I going to turn the slides, or how's that going to work tonight?
Sorry, T-Buzz. Got it. 1 second.
The way you subscribe to my T-Buzz Talk and Trade is DTItrader.com/TNT, I think does it, right, Adam? He'll post a link in there for you. Now, just let me know when I can start. There you go.
Yeah, no. On your machine now. One second.
Now, while he's doing that, remember every day at 11 this week, 11 o'clock a.m., I'll be doing my train and trade. That's at 11. And then in the afternoon, from 1:30 to 3, I'll be doing my T-Buzz live trading. It's a pretty little fancy room we got going there. And if you need to know more about that, Adam will post a link in there. But it's pretty exciting to be able to trade live every day. In fact, I told Adam, I said, you ought to send out an email that basically says if you don't show for my T-Buzz live trading, just using a little old $1,000, it probably cost you $200 a show. Because I have been trading in there every day, it seems like, that we meet.
You're all set.
Oh, perfect. All right, risks involved in trading. I always like to tell you, past performance is not indicative of future results. Former Air Force officer, active trader since the 70s, former member of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And it means a lot to have that experience under my belt. I learned how the traders on the floor thought. I have 3 books, Winning the Day Trading Game, The Markets Never Sleep, and Trade to Win. I encourage you to get all 3 of them. You can get it at Amazon. I would start with Winning the Day Trading Game, sort of give you the background and what we do. And I think we sort of set ourselves apart with our award-winning software and everything that we do to try to have the odds in our favor. That's the key. And I've worked with students since 1996. At DTI, we help you master the markets through education, training, and experience. My schedule for the week, let's just look at this. 11 o'clock tomorrow, train and trade. Tomorrow night, we'll meet with my Futures Plus education. Start teaching futures. People love it. I love it. It's going to be a good week to be meeting at 7 o'clock for futures. That's tomorrow night. If you're interested in that, Adam will put the link in there. Tuesday, I got my Connected Dots, my longest running program for my T-Buzz All-Stars. I got 11 o'clock train and trade. And I've got a 1:30 T-Buzz live trade starting on Tuesday. Notice that's on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That's an $800 win if you're willing to show. And then 11 o'clock train and trade every day. That's our schedule for the week. Going to be power packed. Hope you're part of it. In my opinion, one rule that I tell everybody: follow the S&P. Figure out what the S&P is going to do, because 75% of all stocks follow that. Yeah, they'll post a link for the futures, Laura, or Adam posts a way to get signed up for that. No problem, in my opinion. If you'd like to talk, we always ask people, if you like to talk, put your name, email, and phone number in here, and we'll make it sometime this week. We'll get on the phone and talk a little bit. Now, market's coming into November pretty hot. We're up about 2% for the month of October. Good start for the quarter. Got a little sloppy there towards the end, but it's still a very strong month. You look at some of these stocks, they surge. They will keep surging for the quarter. That's a prediction. Gold hit a lifetime high in October. It was between 4,000, 4,400, went down to about 3,900. It looks like it's trying to recover and set up for a good month. Okay? Yeah, put your email also if you don't mind. Thank you. And Adam, you get that and let me know. Crude, I've been telling people to be short crude all year. Looks like a great trade. My goal is for it to get to about $45 a barrel before this cycle's over. Bonds skyrocketed to 119. I think that with what Powell did at the Fed meeting, that is an opportunity. Right now, you got to let it calm down, if that makes any sense. Calm down a little bit. There's some more money to be made over there. 10 tickers, here they are, folks. And here's the way we tell people to do. These are the numbers that will make you money if these stocks end up closing above this on Monday. And you can write these numbers down. These are the 10 tickers for the week. Typically, an average of 3 to 4 of them will pay big. All you have to do is follow along, set an alert. use strategies that we've taught you to make you money. Okay? To make you money. How many people love the 10 tickers I post every Sunday night? Now, did I exaggerate how good it is? Or is it about the best thing you can do on Sunday night? Write these down. Notice in the number one spot is NVIDIA. And that's my number one stock that we'll talk about in a little bit. NVIDIA, 205.55. Probabilities for the week. If you look at probabilities, you'll see tomorrow's pretty hot. Tuesday's hot, Wednesday's hot, Thursday's hot, Friday's hot. You might say this is a hot week for November. Earnings have been good, exceeding expectations. The market is finding its footing. You're going to find a lot of people that thought the market was going to go down in October are going to be caught short and have to buy it back. That's going to take us higher. My projection by the end of the year, 7,000 to 7,200. Write that number down by the end of the year. That's what I expect the S&P to go to. Any questions about the probabilities this week? Key economic news and earnings this week. Monday, economic ISM PMI. Tuesday, you got earnings. Palantir after the close. Keep your eye on that one. That is a Wall Street darling. That stock has had a heck of a year. If you've been long Palantir, you've just got to say, wow. That's the stock of the day, in my estimation, on Monday after the close. Tuesday, we have the trade balance news. That'd be interesting. Factory orders. AMD, another stock that surged. I told you it would. It did. I said it would get to 250. AMD is a heck of a company, and it's done the right thing with the deals it's been making. I would watch AMD, okay, after Tuesday. Wednesday, what do we have? ADP, ISM, Global Services, earnings, McDonald's in the pre-market. That's always good to watch McDonald's. That gives you a broad-based view of the consumer. Robinhood, another good one that I've been following. I've got it, I've got it laid out for a particular trade this week on Robinhood. Thursday, what happens on Thursday? You got to pay attention. Earnings. Thursday, you got a lot of great earnings after the close on Thursday. Pay attention. Friday, employment situation on Friday. If in fact the government comes back, I'm sure they'll announce it. We'll find out if they release it. Keep your eyes on that news. Lighter slate versus midweek, but that's just the way it goes for the week. November 7th, Mickey Mantle Day, Friday. Any questions about what I just showed you? Now, do you have the NVIDIA in here? I wanted to cover that. Before I got into the slides. I gave you a slide of NVIDIA if you look closely. All right, folks, I was doing some thinking over the weekend while he's doing that. I wrote out 5 steps for NVIDIA, how to acquire a position, what to do with that position, and how to make money on that position. So NVIDIA is a company I believe is going to surge the last 60 days. In fact, I'm going to increase, I've got a current position. I'm going to increase my holdings on NVIDIA over the next 20 to 30 days. Write this date down. It's very important. November 19th. Everybody got that? Tell me you got that. November 19th earnings. All right. I don't know if Adam's here or if he heard what I said, but to get into NVIDIA, there's 2 ways to do it on a Monday.
I'm here, T-Buzz. I'm looking.
I gave you 2 slides. It was the one after the 10.
Oh, I think, yeah, it might have just downloaded the one, but I see what you're saying. Do you want me to just type it on this slide?
Yeah, why don't you just type it in the chat room when I cover it? Do it that way, okay? We'll cover more of this tomorrow during Train and Trade, but I want to tell you what I'm doing, okay? All right, so NVIDIA. the first thing you do, you got to probe it. And to probe it, you got to know how much money, if you like my idea, and I tell you where I think it's going, how much money you want to put on it for the next 2 months. Everybody understand the plan? This is on NVIDIA. So I'm going to probe NVIDIA. I already took a little piece tonight on NVIDIA, but that's a little aggressive. But tomorrow, after the first 30 minutes, if I'm greater, I'm going to add to it. Okay? That's the actual stock. There's another way to play it. It's called my Delta 50 strategy. And that takes 2 of those at Delta 50 out to December, the 3rd week of options in December. Okay? Now let's just do some math here. Okay? If I'm right, which I think I'm going to be, never know for sure. If I'm right and you bought 2 options on NVIDIA expiring the 3rd week of December, my realistic target is 245. If NVIDIA is trading at 205, correct, then that's $40 of upside in NVIDIA if I'm right. Now, some people know that when I do this, they always listen very intently, and that's a realistic target that we can shoot for the last 60 days of the year. And if you have 2 options at Delta 50, that's like owning 100 shares. So let's do the math on that. If you bought 2 options on NVIDIA expiring December, the 3rd week, correct? Then $40, roughly about an $8,000 margin minus what you pay. Now, other ways that you can play this, if you do buy the stock, you can sell calls above 245 for December and make some money that way too. I'll explain this in detail tomorrow. In fact, this will be what we cover during my train and trade, okay? Delta 50, Wendy, you got to know about Delta, and I've got a class on that. I think it's inside the YouTube room if you want to learn about it. And if you don't know a lot about options, you can go to optionplaybook.com and find out this strategy. But I don't know about you. I saw y'all post some numbers in there and money you'd like to make. I'm going to be doing this trade. So how can you find out when I get in and when I get out? You got to be with me. And especially you need to be with me when I'm live. I'll be live at 11 o'clock tomorrow. I'll be live at 1:30. Does everybody see the power of my schedule where if you can find out what I said there, I'll be talking about NVIDIA until I get my full position on. What I did over the weekend, I did a lot of research and decided it's time to play NVIDIA for higher prices, okay? It's not complicated. If I'm right, we get paid. If I'm wrong, we'll lose. But I'll show you how to minimize that using my strategies. Now, how many people want to be in for this as we go forward? Tell me if you want to be in for my NVIDIA play. The way you'll be able to be in if you're in my live trading, 1:30 to 3. And I'd put a link in there if anybody's interested in that, okay, if you're not in, okay? But this is just one of many I'm going to come up with. Like I said, the earnings date's November 19th, and there'll be a lot of money made just by selling bullish puts. Everybody got it? Okay. That's what I want to cover as the outline for NVIDIA and my target tonight. Any questions about this before I get into my slide presentation? The 10 tickers and knowing this is well worth being here tonight. How many people like the way I've got this specific where you can find out these type opportunities? I'm sharing what I'm going to do. Might as well have it and get it. So that made it worth coming tonight just hearing that, correct? Well, the next thing I'm going to cover even gets a little bit better. Better and better every week, David says. Thank you. And people, if you don't think this is the real deal, just ask the students. They'll tell you. All right, so this is going to be my presentation. I'm going to talk to you about taking small amounts of money and making big money. How are you going to trade the third quarter market rally using the same method, seen lightning fast doubles, even triples? I have a strategy for this. Now, the profits and performance shown are not typical of any one individual subscriber. We make no future earnings claim. You may lose money. Every trade has a risk factor. You got to know that. Develop tools and strategies to best for our ability, but no one can guarantee the future. There's always a risk of loss when trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. We cannot guarantee any specific future results, as there's always a high degree of risk involved in trading. A lot of things can go wrong. You've had it happen to you. It's happened to me. But what I learned was from the school of hard knocks. Now, in trading, there's going to be losers. There's no black box miracle system that prints out winning trades. The whole purpose of our research is give you an edge. When it comes to getting an edge, you listen to what I teach you, you listen and show up, you will improve as a trader. I've been doing this a lot of years, and I learned what to say, how to say it, and to help you along no matter what stage you're in, whether you're new or whether you're an advanced trader. Now, thanks to a recent breakthrough in AI, our full stack development team, technology investors like we've never seen before, and well over $100,000 that we pay for these data feeds each year, we've unlocked an unmatchable potential for a single quarter and transforming it into what might be the most powerful trading tool in the entire market. You see, well, most folks are paying big prices for options, and I do it too, or even more to trade popular stocks like Apple, Nvidia, or Microsoft. I'm doing it, especially Nvidia and Apple. I've discovered a new way to tap into what could be some of the cheapest options on the market. Nobody pays attention to these. Trades that only cost a quarter. Now, how many here would like a trade they bought for a quarter to pay on an option? Well, this is what this is about. Focusing on an area of the market no one knows how to use. By entering on certain predetermined dates, we'll be able to watch these 25-cent trades double or even triple in what feels like no time. Like in January, 182% gain on a 25% player. Now, here's the beautiful thing about it. You can set the level of commitment based on dollars. So if you took $1,000, how many of these options would you own? I want you to do the simple math and stay with me. Okay? If you took $1,000, how many of these options could you own? That's right, 40 is the answer. 40 is the answer. And the triple in March, 214 gain, not bad. And now, I don't like to brag, you know that. I'm high. I try not to be cocky, but I am confident because I've seen it work. And this is hardly the first time I've done anything like this. Going back to 1992, this is something that sets me apart. I was on one of only 50 professionals to be handpicked by the CME to receive my own Globex terminal, which was the front runner to electronic trading. There were only 50 of these machines issued outside of Chicago. I had one. Very fortunate. I think I had the 50th one, to be honest about it. Been involved in very successful firms over my career that have been bought out by bigger and better firms, for example, Morgan Stanley. And while I've been very selective who gets access to these 25-cent trade alerts, my students that have access to them have been raving about them. Like John said, he loves to approach a 25 cent. He loves to go where other people don't look. If you got a small account, it's a way to get a big account. I love the fact he can trade more than a couple of contracts. Makes him feel like Mr. Big. How about 4 times your money on one recently? Yeah, we got it. Making money with 25-cent options. So if you had $1,000, think of it this way. How much would you have after that? What did Jim have after that? If you had 1,000 in, how much would he have? See how this works? Straight calls, straight puts. Straight calls, simple, straightforward. Not day trades, but straight calls, slip put. How about what old Carlos said? 5 times his original investment. He's got 5,000. That's right. Now, if you're trying to guess the specific opportunity behind these 25-cent trades, hang tight. because we're not talking about trading penny stocks. We're not talking about risky earnings plays. Not talking about naked options or anything like that. We're talking about straightforward. Buy this option and sell it at a higher price in the simplest form. Trade the most basic form of call options available. The 25-cent trade is set the day before one of these predetermined dates. They happen during the month. These dates do. They're based on reports. And boy, they're going to really come hot and heavy. That's why we wanted to focus on it at night. That's where the magic happens. So something that we never thought we'd actually do. For the longest time, I wouldn't touch these options, but then I figured out an angle to do it, and I do it 5 times a month. And that's because these type of speculative options typically lose money. Most of the time they would. My whole perspective on this shifted 180 degrees when I found the trigger, and I got the trigger. Because only trading these 25-cent options are very specific, determined dates. We have a shot to jump in, like a 78% shot here on a full back test, for example, like back in January, as the S&P kicked off this year, it was roaring higher. By mid-January, at new highs, and folks were left guessing when the next breakout would happen. And if you spend all your time figuring that out, you probably wasted a little time. None of that really mattered on January 10th. It took about 30 seconds to set one of these low price options, very carefully chosen, that paid huge. 194% gain. 1,000 turned into how much money? You see where I'm going with this? I put the odds in our favor by my setup, being very disciplined and very careful. As great as that sounds, it gets even better. January 11th, the next day, was marked on the calendar a 23-cent option, 264%. Now we're talking, right? That could have been enough to triple investment on one trade, $500 investment each of these trades. $2,300 in profit approximately, and when cashed out. That's what you're looking for. Power trading brought to you firsthand 5 times a month. That might not sound like life-changing sum of cash, but it's definitely no chump change. Especially if you've got a small account, you got a chance to grow it. As a matter of fact, the average Joe spends about $6,700 a month. That's pre-tax to pay his expenses. Now, if the average monthly expenses for American family had gone up at $8,450, that's average, there's a $1,746 loophole. You got to come out with a better way to make it. Most people are sliding backwards financially, and things are unaffordable. But with these back-to-back 25-cent trades, you got a little bit of extra help. $2,300 profit come after taking only 2 trades. That's what happened in January. Notice the percentage of success, very high. 3x times the amount of money we put up each time, including 4 double-digit wins. Now, as great as these returns are, I got much more in store for you. Thanks to our recent breakthrough in AI, our team has made technological advancements like we've never seen before. Unleashed an automatic trading program that spots these predetermined dates. It now automatically gives you the best matching options if you want to follow along. Folks, we've taken it with technology. My strategies has been programmed. You see where I'm going with this? Where all you have to do is have it and work it. Just a moment, I cover all the details behind it. It's probably wondering what's going on. What are these predetermined dates that allow these 25% trades? Plus a handful, you'll be able to grab a password protected calendar and be able to use it as you go to your next trade. But I've got to be frank. I'm typically not a directional swing for the fences type trader like this, but with technology, it makes me one. That's because, as you know, and as I've showed you, all trades have wins and losses. And typically, even the best swing for the fences strategies are not this higher percentage. And if you know me, then you know I don't like to take big risks. I am a grinder in the business. I grind out win after win because I keep my expectations nailed down. That's why I built my career focused on high accuracy opportunities in and out with my usual approach. And how does that help some top students reach jaw-dropping goals like 135% for Manny O, five wins for him, or lower, made 2,200 in profit, 9 trades. So far, Denise says she's only had winning trades. Up until now, shooting for 10 to 20% profits over and over again with a fairly high win rate. But today, I'm finally pulling back the curtain. You see, thanks to these predetermined dates, my team and I have discovered we found a method that can, at the same time, help give us the safety of these high accuracy style trades. You can't trade in every day. There's about 5 times a month you can do it, and I'll show you how. While at the same time giving you unlimited upside on some of these short-term moves. A combination of win rate plus upside makes it worth your attention to pay attention. And simply follow along with these predetermined dates listed in the calendar. The 25-cent trades, go for that double, even triple, extremely fast. And you know, the next day after the big report, the win and loss is there. Doesn't pay, you get out and use that money for another. For example, like the very next 25-cent trade opportunity in January, searching the internet, trying to find that one nugget out there, expert opinions on this or that. Anyone with their hands on our calendar knew that January 17th was that day. Clicked a few buttons in the account, set the trade, 101% gain on that one. Just check a calendar, place the trade. As long as the trade was entered on the date listed on the calendar before the market's closed. That's the key. You got to get it in the night before. Tune out all the herd, play this game with me. And now with the newest upgrade, you automatically get the best matching options for you. There's no guessing about it. This is a breakthrough for all the people that's part of it. Now you can get software to do what I was doing, but do it frequently, allowing you to place your trade without second guessing yourself or worried about knowing when to exit. Just relax and enjoy your life or do whatever you want to. Like I did, throwing that football with my grandkids. But going golfing. Oh, I had a great golf game today. And if everything worked out, watching his initial investment more than doubled in 24 hours. In this case, 2,500 turned into 5,000. That's a double in my book. This is now within your grasp because you will have what I have with 40 years of experience helping you get there. Now, I keep talking about these predetermined dates. And how do they give you the exact minute to get in and lock in before the big move? I want to remind folks that now we don't have a magic 8 ball, can't predict the future. Just like with any strategy, there's going to be winners and losses along the way. Take a look at that chart there. What it's telling you is the market drones most of the time. Droning meaning it's just droning right along, correct? Okay. Notice what happens when it goes outside the line and you have a 1% movement. Big moves in options and underlying when that happens. When you look at the S&P percentage every day for the past 10 years, posted on the chart, this chart tells it all. Each individual dot represents a single day. Now, between these two lines is the number of days where S&P moved less than 1%. There's your key. You're trying to trade the days that are moving or have a greater chance to move more than 1%. And outside those two lines, these are the days where the S&P moves 1% or more. Everybody get the game? We're trying for that 1% move. Remember, the stock market will whine and grind 70% of the time. That means 7 out of 10 trading days, the market's stagnant, which means there's 3 out of 10. If you eliminate it down and increase your odds by picking the days most likely to occur, now you got something to work with. Options eat up time decay, and that's why people lose money. No surprise that the Chicago Mercantile Exchange reported that 76% of options expire worthless. That's what you worry when you build a program like this. And then you figure out how to beat it. And that's why if you've been trading or invested for a while now, struggling to make consistent profit, watch the markets disintegrate while you're watching as your stock went up. You watch the market go higher and higher while your retirement account barely budged. It's not because you had a bad trader or simply not smart enough. You just didn't do it right. Doing it right, picking your days, having the discipline, setting your orders in to take your profits at your desired profit goal. That's the way you win with this. Majority of the time, stock market barely moves, and that's what crushes most trading accounts. However, if you can hone in on those big days, that's what we've been able to do, you can play these small price options for big moves. And you'll soon see these days will be some of the biggest moves in the stock market, not random at all. They match up with the reports that we use. And this is very important. I want you to listen to these words. If you take these trades, you're going to know about that particular option right after the report by looking at the index. What did I tell you? 75% of all stocks follow the indexes. These predetermined or week in advance when they plan these dates, a lot of people, I know this is something that's happened to me a lot trading options. Anybody ever sold an option and it went against you? I bet you didn't take into account you had that option open during one of these predetermined dates when you had a big report. Think about that. On these predetermined dates, we've seen these low price options double, even triple, sometimes overnight. Just like in February, biggest payday we've seen so far from the 25-cent trade. Interest rates, been a big topic, hadn't it? Fed had other plans. They decided to screw with us. Typically, that's news that would make you want to sell your stocks. But anyone that had the calendar with the February 21st date on there could have done this strategy. 25 cents in. Sure enough, very next day, look at that gain. 391% gain on that overnight move. That's what we're trying to get. Now, again, that's the biggest one we've seen so far. I'm not saying it'd be the biggest one in the future, but that's the biggest one we had. There's going to be big wins, small wins, and losers along the way. That's just how trading works. But today, we're going to hold that at bay. With every month, there's a handful of these reports published by the U.S. government that can really move the market. You probably heard of some of them, like CPI, PPI, GDP. Unemployment, the biggest one of all, comes out on the first of the month. Let me ask you a question. Are we at the first of the month? Yes. We're about to go through a whole slew of these, especially with back reports, or to make it a very lucrative month once they get the government open. Now, these reports are typically published in the mornings before the opening bell. With the new dashboard, you get a countdown timer for the next event. And as the next event is on the horizon, it's right there. They'll set up the most lucrative trading days we've seen all year long for it. And be able to sit back and watch these low price options, sometimes even triple in a blink of an eye. Take a look at the next 25. It's going to organize how to do it. You're going to love it and show you which options to take. Let's say someone took a trade they paid 21 cents for. You had a big report that came your way, like the unemployment report. Bang, a gap up opening. Everybody's caught short. You're selling to all those losers. Well, you're a big winner and you're moving on. Everybody see how this works? You get a smile on your face, I know it. If you had invested 5,000 shares on an S&P on that move, cash, you'd have pocketed 150, not bad. But on a 25-cent option with that same starting stake, you would have seen $2,381 overnight. That's around 16x better than buying shares outright, and only 1/20th the cost per position. And based on what your beta testers have said, it seems challenging at all to take these trades. Tina and Peggy both got on it, love the 25-cent trade. They're easy to get in and out of, and they're usually profitable based on our qualifiers that we have. Now we got it in software. The 25-cent option is a low-risk, highly profitable trade. You want me to show you another example? It was the same exact case with the next setup on March 6th. Notice unemployment report, first of the month, marked on the calendar. Look at that. Falling north of 1% on the day. Now, I'm sure a lot of folks would still clear from the stock market on an ugly day like that. But we're not like most people. We're playing the odds. All you want to have to do is set the 25-cent trade before the markets closed on March the 8th, and that would have gotten folks in before that U.S. government published that newest jobless claim report. maybe grab dinner with an old friend or relative. By the time the opening bell rang, 134% gain. Now, typically get a handful of these major economic reports each month, each one with their own specific, 5 minimum a week. You get a couple bonus trades on Fed days. In fact, these dates are so powerful, they make up almost all the opportunity in the stock market. Now you know it. You're going to be shocked when you see this chart. Look at that chart there. Everybody see that? That's the up climb we've been on all year. Everybody see it? What people don't realize is if you take out the major economic report dates I've been talking about and remove those from that upside activity, dismantles the chart going from unstoppable bull to why options lose money right there. Everybody see that? That picture's worth 1,000 words, what I just showed you. You got to know about these dates. You got to know when they are, especially if you're an option trader. Trading outside these predetermined dates to the long side is a dangerous game and a fast track losing money if you're trading options. But by isolating these explosive dates, that's where the money's made, the big money, and that's why I've built this special calendar with all these dates mapped out in advance. The software now automatically displays the best matching options to take before trade. Let's stop there and think about it with this software. It's going to do the work for you, tee it up, tell you when to show up, tell you where to get out, and now all you got to do is plug it in and make it work. The 25-cent trader just went mainline. All that's left to do is take that trade on the date shown, 54% gain, 152% gain, $10,867 in 24 hours on a small $2,500 stake. Maybe not to retire and leave money, but it would definitely be a nice buffer to pay maybe bills, planning your next vacation, or just saving for that rainy day. I have to admit, after seeing the actual power of these predetermined dates on the chart, the light bulb went off. Don't trade any other way, especially long calls, long puts. Now you might be wondering, can it go ahead and pick any option every time one of these dates pop up? No, it can't. If it's that easy, everybody would be able to do it. But what we developed is filters to tell you when it's there and when it's not. Gives us these edge on these dates. That is worth a fortune. Filter out the week's open, the month's high price, and our average trading range to determine the criteria if it's an enter to the up or enter to the down. Sort through the options to find the optimum expiration. The strike price always right around 25%, 25 cents per contract. And then we set the trade with outlined profit targets and stop loss levels. We do all the heavy lifting for you with the software. And honestly, it's a lot of work, but with the software, it makes it a lot easier. Basic call, basic put options when they set up. Any regular brokerage account can trade it, 401ks, IRAs if you want to. You don't need to wait for an alert from me or our team. As a matter of fact, with the recent upgrade, our breakthrough, the new dashboard we're releasing, you'll get it. And you not only get the events automatically on the web-based dashboard, with the click of a button, you get the full trade details. Dashboard automatically source the options criteria, listed for you, easy to follow. We'll be there to back you up, make sure you understand it. And if you want to copy and paste those details, you prefer brokerage, place the trade, let it go, set your target, let it go. And we've actually outperformed our testing so far with this approach. Monica said, 100% profit. She did good with the discretionary approach. Now you're going to have the software to level it out. Doug, 400% gain on a previous one. He likes the low risk, potential high reward. I do too, Doug. And David said he's had a lot of success with the 25% quick, clean results. Credible stories. I want to read your story when you do it. Now, we're going to limit the number of people who can get it, so you got to buy it, be part of it if you want to be part of it. 25-cent trader, dashboard. We got a pre-release special offer. Let's get the next double or triple together. And once the tech team is done with the newest upgrades over the coming weeks, 25-cent dashboard will be there for you. Everything online, anywhere in the world to look at. 25-cent dashboard. You will have all new dashboard available to them for unrestricted use. Whoa, that's big. 25-cent dashboard is the only trade tool I know of, sources all the predetermined dates out, teases up for the high conviction opportunities one after another. Set it on autopilot, best days to do it, and do it. How many people that's been in the old program, love the old program, but love where the new level we're going to? Don't you love what I'm doing here with this new version of technology? It's just teed up for you. Unbelievable what we've been able to do. Release all the new 25-cent trader dashboard with the current. Here's your final chance to lock in your membership at today's price. Members immediately gain access to all new web-based program. No install needed, no code to download, nothing on, get your password and go. Inside the members portal, you'll have one-click access to it, take the full calendar, all the calendars get prepared, watch the master classes that are set up, and we'll go live when we're ready to go to make sure you can see it for explosive trade. Next double, even triple, 25-cent trade alerts each and every week on average. Same economic events that I've been trading for years, and same trades I recommend to anybody who wants to listen. That's how I will read. On this case, it was the SPY. Tomorrow morning, talk about the jobless report, telling you which one to buy, the price to pay. Can't get any simpler than that. It gives you the ticker, tells you the analysis, tells you where to get in. All you have to do is copy the trade, like what you see, and you have a shot at what could be our next great win. 4,500 overnight on that one. I'd like to have a few of those, and make sure that we always get instant access to the signals, alerts via email, cell phone, and telephone. You won't miss it on these key dates if you're part of the membership. That way, whether you're at the beach with friends, out on the range, or I'm teaching a webinar, this thing goes off, we take it, you'll never have to miss out. The criteria is simple, but it's very detailed, takes a lot of work to find these. The software does it for us and sets you up. Then you're all set. The next piece of membership, always shooting for optimum gains for avoiding holding on to losers too long. That's really the big benefit. The automatic exit plan, that becomes part of it. As a member, you'll get this. It'll tell you when to exit, time-wise on each report, based on the stats that we've done, and even include exclusive information about automatically help you protect against the downside movement. But not just that. I know some of you are newer to trading, may have never traded options before. You can't learn options any better. I'll put this out there. You can't learn how to trade options any better than follow what I teach you about options. Just ask the students. I'm not making this stuff up, folks. I've been doing it for 40 years. No spreads, no contours, nothing like this. A straight call, straight puts. The course is called Options Made Simple with Options. I put it together over 6 months. No matter what level of option you're doing, from basic to advanced, it's covered. And there's a reason I included it in this in-depth training. Since 2020 pandemic, we've seen these major economic reports only become more and more impactful. We know the dates. We got it listed. The 25-cent trades will tee it up for you. Like Rhonda, she loves it. She popped in, small account friendly, risk small, great reward. Or Bruce, 25 cents in less than 24 hours turned in. Sue likes to have fun doing it. Must have been a cheerleader in high school, right? Wahoo! Before today's big announcement, I typically let my personal set at $69.97 in the past. The members are going to get all the new dashboard too, which is easily a $5,000 value, no questions asked. And consider how much energy, time, and money we put in this thing. We'll charge twice as much as that if we wanted to, but we decided to do something fun, get everybody involved, cut it in half to $34.97. Now, if you join today, we're going to hook you on a special offer. We got, you'll also be grandfathered in for the big dashboard upgrade at no extra cost. We're allowing 99 people. This is the final call if you want it. After that, we're cranking up the price, but hang tight. It's about to get even better. With the special bonus lined up, the lifetime elite member discount. which means we'll knock $1,000 off the price of the membership immediately. $34.97 1 year is a heck of a deal. $24.97 for life is a steal. Drop the link, Adam. Drop the link. Let's see how many people want it. But it won't run you that. The 25-cent trader with the software, ground running. Options extremely affordable, 25 cents, no higher. Lap ahead of everybody else. Your first 50 trades are on me. 50 times that takes it down another $12.50. $12.47 for the lifetime deal. Pretty cool. Only good for members who jump in right now. Read my emails about the epic results we're getting with new members. Don't procrastinate. Take one of the discounted memberships for yourself. With this crowd, they ought to go. Go to dtitrader.com/25 cents. Call 904-706-3532. Click the link in the chat. There it is. Adam's got it in there, dtitrader.com/25 cents. The pre-release special is out tonight. Go to dtitrader.com/25 cents. Pretty good stuff. There's a 25-cent trade in at 27 out at 49. I'll take that all day long. 1666 overnight. Take it down, take it down, take it down when the 99 hit. Only 99 at this price. We're raising the price, obviously, after this. So once the 99 are gone, dtitrader.com/25 cents. Pam said you make up ground fast doing that. 4x times 25. Greatest account ever for Patrick. I love it, these stories. There are a lot of risks, a lot of reward, but if you do it correctly, you're following a disciplined approach to taking advantage of these 5 big reports. Grab your membership tonight, 25-cent trade. If you have any questions about it, you can call our customer service team. They'll be glad to help you and show you how to get where you need to go. So definitely do that. If you need any questions answered, and they're open from 10 to 1 Monday through Friday. Any questions at all if you got any. How much money is needed? Well, all the trades are about 25 cents. That's 25 bucks is the minimum purchase on one of these options. Wherever trade be a winner. I want to make sure everybody understands this. Of course not. Every trade's not going to be a winner. No strategy wins 100% of the time. But folks, play from the smart side of the ballpark. That's it. Can you trade this in an IRA or 401k? Yes, it's retirement account friendly. Absolutely. Oh man, I can't wait. What are the system requirements for new dashboards? Since it's web-based dashboard, all you need is an internet connection. That makes it simple. Password to get in, no software or separate installation required. And as you remember, not only going to get the events automatically on a web-based dashboard, with the click of a button, get the full trade details. The dashboard will automatically source the option criteria and list it for you in an easy to follow format. So you can copy and paste the details in your preferred brokerage and everything looks good. You place the trade. So what's a 25-cent trade? Well, you'll find out. We got reports coming and people in the program will get it. Now, 99 spots. Once we hit that number, price is going up. I can't believe it did it this low, Adam. I just still can't believe that. Or you can call 904-706-3532. Take one of the slots, get part of it, get the training under your belt because they're about to pop. There's going to be a lot of reports we can take advantage of with this software. So, any questions outside the ones I covered? Adam, what a great choice with everything happening around us. What a great choice to talk about. I'm glad. Thank the team for getting it done. Great question. Oscar says, do you send text message alerts? What is the approximate open trading window time? The window opens an hour prior to the day of the big report, the day prior. That way it's not a day trade. You put it on and you know the answer by 8:30 the next morning on that particular report. Usually have at least 2 shots with each option you take, 2 reports based on expiration choice. I think it's well thought out, and you wonder if it's ever happened to you where you sold a low price option at double or triple, it probably had one of these reports did it too. You need to upgrade. This is totally new. You need to upgrade. Absolutely, for the software. Absolutely. And especially at this low price. John, normally anywhere from 15 to 25 days. Understand the strategy. The strategy even hedges the report risk based on the sequence of reports. This is such a great program. Any other questions anybody has? Folks, this is the 25-cent trader been converted to an automatic approach for you, where you will have and sift through all that data I've been having to do manually. You're going to love it. Oscar, no. No, these are options in certain indexes that we choose that have the certain criteria, and that's what the software is going to do for you. Yes, you have to upgrade to get the software. This totally makes it 25-cent too, I guess you'd call it. Jason, if you want to do it, put your email and number in there. We'll have Kelly call you. Yes, you have to do that. This is software different. Everybody understand, we spent a lot of money doing this. Aren't you glad we did it with the software? Get signed up, take the deal, and make it work for you. Yeah, Rick, they'll put the link up. I hope this helps everybody. Get the software, get it downloaded, go into what we call 25-cent trader. It should be called 25-cent trader plus, because it's plus the software. All right, Vernon, have a question. All right, thank you for being here, and we will go forward looking ahead. If you have, anytime you have a lifetime software like this, you got to think about that. Lifetime. That's beyond 12 months, a gold program, correct? That's a little bit different. That's the way you got to think about it. Because you got to keep this stuff up. All right. Thank you for being here. I hope you listened tonight. It was a great opening for NVIDIA and all this. I think we're going to have a big, big week. I hope you're part of it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As I always say, I'll see you on the flip side. Thank you for showing. Adam, are you going to replay this, or what are you going to do?
Hey, T-Buzz, yeah, I can replay it.
He's going to replay the whole thing.